Turn wisdom into legacy, a call to transform education. Hello and welcome. I want to talk with you today about something urgent, something that affects every person listening, regardless of where you live or what language you speak. We stand at a crossroads in human history. On one side, we have unprecedented access to information and technology. On the other, we're witnessing a collapse in meaningful education, a widening skills gap, and the silent disappearance of irreplaceable knowledge. For decades, I've dedicated my life to empowering individuals through knowledge and personal transformation. I've championed traditional values, practical skills, and principled leadership. Today, I want to share with you why I believe we're facing a perfect storm in education, and more importantly, what we can do about it together. Let me paint you a picture of what's happening right now as we speak. The knowledge drain. Every day, thousands of baby boomers retire. With them walks decades of hard-earned wisdom, practical skills, and problem-solving experience. Master craftsmen, skilled tradespeople, experienced engineers, seasoned educators, their knowledge isn't written in textbooks. It exists in their hands, their memories, their years of trial and error, and it's disappearing. The education crisis. Meanwhile, our current education system is failing millions. Students graduate with degrees but lack practical skills. Young people enter the workforce unprepared. Traditional education has become prohibitively expensive, locking out those who need it most. According to recent studies, over 260 million children and youth worldwide have no access to education at all. And even those who do often receive instruction that doesn't prepare them for real-world challenges. The skills gap. Employers across every industry report the same problem. They can't find qualified workers, not because people lack degrees, but because they lack practical knowledge and critical thinking skills. The disconnect between what schools teach and what the world needs has never been wider. The global divide? And perhaps most troubling, quality education remains a privilege of geography and wealth. If you're born in certain countries or certain communities, your access to transformative learning is severely limited. Not because you lack intelligence or drive, but simply because the resources aren't available. This isn't just an economic problem. This isn't just about jobs or income. This is about human potential, millions of minds that could solve our greatest challenges, create beautiful art, build thriving communities, and push the boundaries of human achievement. But they never get the chance. Now, I want you to imagine something different. Imagine a world where a young person in rural Africa has access to the same quality education as someone in New York or London. Imagine a master carpenter in Japan sharing techniques with an apprentice in Brazil through interactive video lessons. Imagine a retired engineer in Germany teaching problem-solving skills to students across 3 continents. This isn't fantasy. This is possible, right now. Global Sovereign University represents a new model of education, one built on these principles. First, education is a fundamental right, not a privilege. Knowledge should flow freely across borders, languages, and economic barriers. We believe in removing obstacles, not creating them. Second, practical wisdom matters as much as theory. We're creating courses that combine traditional academic knowledge with real-world skills, the kind that retiring experts possess but rarely have platforms to share. Third, community drives learning. True education happens in conversation, in collaboration, in the exchange of ideas between students, educators, and thought leaders. We're building a global learning community where these connections happen naturally. Fourth, technology serves humanity, not the other way around. We use cutting-edge platforms not because they're impressive, but because they genuinely help people learn better. Our interactive math learning center, our comprehensive courses, our podcasts reaching learners in multiple languages. We're developing educational content that's accessible to anyone with an internet connection, available in multiple languages, rooted in both traditional wisdom and contemporary knowledge, focused on developing critical thinking, practical skills, and principled leadership. This is about more than transferring information. This is about transforming lives. Let me tell you what your support makes possible. When you contribute to Global Sovereign University, you're not just donating to an organization. You're investing in the teenager in Southeast Asia who dreams of becoming an engineer but has no local access to advanced mathematics instruction. Your support provides that access. The single mother in South America who wants to build a better life for her children but needs job skills to do it. Your contribution makes that training available. The retiring craftsman in Europe who has spent 40 years mastering a trade and wants to pass that knowledge to the next generation before it's lost forever. Your donation creates the platform for that legacy. The aspiring leader in Africa who has the intelligence and drive to transform their community but lacks access to the kind of education that develops principled leadership. Your investment opens that door. Every dollar you give directly supports program development and delivery, 70%. Technology and infrastructure to reach more learners, 20%. Essential administrative costs to keep everything running, 10%. We're committed to transparency. Every contribution is used efficiently and effectively to maximize educational impact. I want to share something personal with you. As a veteran, I learned firsthand the importance of practical knowledge and principled action. In the military, theory only takes you so far. You need skills, discipline, and the wisdom that comes from experience. Those lessons shaped everything I've done since. As an author, I've spent years championing traditional values, not because I'm opposed to progress, but because I've seen what happens when we abandon the wisdom of those who came before us. There's tremendous knowledge in our history, our traditions, our elders, knowledge that modern society often dismisses in its rush toward the new. And as an educator, I've watched too many bright, capable people locked out of opportunities simply because they lacked access to quality instruction. I've seen potential wasted, dreams deferred, and talents left undeveloped, not because of any failing in the individual, but because our educational systems failed them. That's why I'm asking for your help today, because education is the foundation of civilization itself. When we invest in learning, we invest in human flourishing. When we preserve wisdom, we build bridges between generations. When we expand access to knowledge, we expand human possibility. This is about what we can build together. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Visit our donation page at civilizationbuilders.net/donate or go directly to our GoFundMe campaign at gofund.me/16D740BE. Make a contribution of any amount that's meaningful to you, $20, $50, whatever fits your circumstances. Every donation matters. Every contribution brings us closer to our goal. But more than that, I'm asking you to share this message. Send this podcast to 3 people who care about education. Post our donation link on your social media. Talk about this mission with your friends and family. Help us build momentum. Because here's the truth, we can't do this alone. No single donation, however generous, will solve the global education crisis. But together, hundreds of us, thousands of us, contributing what we can and spreading the word, we can create something transformative. We can turn wisdom into legacy. We can build bridges across borders. We can empower the next generation of leaders, innovators, and problem solvers. Thank you for listening. Thank you for caring about education and human potential. And thank you in advance for whatever support you're able to provide. Together, we're not just building a university, we're building civilization itself. Visit civilizationbuilders.net/donate today. Education is the foundation of everything we hope to become. Website, civilizationbuilders.net/donate. GoFundMe, gofund.me/16D740B. Contact foundation@civilizationbuilders.net.